Marrakech Ryads Parc all-inclusive sits in the Palmeraie area, about a short drive from the historic Medina. Here's something most travel videos won't tell you. All-inclusive properties in Morocco often bundle in activities and entertainment that would otherwise nickel and dime you throughout your stay. When you're calculating the true cost of a Marrakech trip, factor in taxi rides to Gemma LFNA, entrance fees to gardens and palaces, and the inevitable mid-afternoon mint tea stops that add up faster than you'd think. An all-inclusive model in this location means you're locking in predictable costs while staying close enough to explore the city's highlights without being in the thick of Medina chaos. The property is located in Douar Ould Benramon, Wahat City Brahim, which places it in the palm plantation belt that wraps around the northern edge of Marrakech. This isn't a resort where you stumble out the door into souk madness. It's a base camp that gives you breathing room between cultural deep dives. The room situation here follows a structure you'll recognize if you've stayed at mid-range all-inclusive resorts before. You're looking at tiered accommodation that starts with standard options and scales up depending on how much space and privacy you want. The entry-level rooms are the workhorses of the property, the kind of setup that delivers the essentials without unnecessary frills. Think clean lines, functional furniture, climate control that actually works in Marrakech's summer heat, and enough storage to unpack a week's worth of clothes without living out of your suitcase. These rooms are built for couples or solo travelers who plan to spend most of their time exploring the city or using the resort's communal facilities. You're not getting a private plunge pool or a sprawling terrace, but you are getting a comfortable place to sleep, shower, and regroup between excursions. The beds are typically queen or twin configurations, and the bathrooms are straightforward with walk-in showers. No one's going to write poetry about the decor, but it's clean, it's air-conditioned, and it gets the job done. If your priority is maximizing your days in Marrakech rather than lounging in your room, this tier makes financial sense. Step up from there and you'll find rooms with more square footage and often a bit more privacy. These mid-tier options are where families or small groups start to see value, especially if you're traveling with kids who need space to decompress after a day of sightseeing. The layouts open up, giving you room to move around without tripping over luggage. Some of these units come with seating areas that are actually usable, not just a token armchair wedged into a corner. The views improve as you move up the ladder, with some rooms offering sightlines over the resort grounds or toward the distant Atlas Mountains. The bathrooms in these categories sometimes include tubs, which is a genuine luxury after a long day walking the Medina's uneven cobblestones. The trade-off here is cost versus comfort. If you're planning to spend mornings by the pool and evenings at the resort's restaurants, the extra space and amenities start to justify the price difference. You're paying for the ability to spread out, to have a proper place to sit and plan your next day's itinerary, and to enjoy a bit more quiet when you need it. The top-tier accommodations lean into privacy and space in a way that changes the rhythm of your stay. These are the rooms where you might actually want to spend a lazy afternoon, the kind of setup that makes sense if you're mixing resort relaxation with city exploration rather than treating the property purely as a place to sleep. Larger terraces or balconies give you outdoor space that's genuinely usable, not just a narrow strip where you can barely fit a chair. The interiors are more thoughtfully appointed, with better lighting, more attention to decor, and furnishings that feel a step above standard-issue resort furniture. Some of these rooms are designed with families in mind, offering configurations that can sleep 4 or more without requiring everyone to share a bed or sleep on a pull-out couch. If you're traveling with teenagers or extended family, this flexibility matters. You're also closer to the kind of service and attention that makes a stay feel more personalized, with quicker housekeeping response times and sometimes access to dedicated concierge support. The value proposition here depends on how you travel. If you're the type who uses the room purely as a crash pad, the upgrade won't make sense. But if you want a proper retreat within the retreat, these rooms deliver. The dining setup at Marrakech Ryads Parc all-inclusive is structured around the all-inclusive model, which means you're looking at a main buffet restaurant that anchors the food program. This is where most guests will take the majority of their meals, especially breakfast and dinner. The buffet format here is designed to cover a wide range of tastes and dietary needs, with stations that rotate through Moroccan classics, Mediterranean staples, and international crowd pleasers. You'll find tagines simmering with slow-cooked lamb or chicken, couscous piled high with vegetables and chickpeas, and grilled meats that come off the heat with a bit of char. The salad bar runs long, with options that go beyond iceberg lettuce and sad tomatoes. Think marinated vegetables, olives in multiple varieties, fresh herbs, and dressings that actually have flavor. The bread station is worth noting because Moroccan bread culture is serious business. You'll see msemen, the flaky layered flatbread that's perfect for scooping up stews, and kobs, the round loaves that show up at every meal. The dessert section leans into local sweets like chebakia, the sesame-coated honey pastries that are almost too pretty to eat, and pastilla, the filo-wrapped almond confection dusted with powdered sugar and cinnamon. The quality of buffet food can swing wildly depending on the time of day and how recently dishes have been refreshed, so timing matters. Hit the buffet early in the service window and you're more likely to get food that's just been brought out. Show up near closing and you're scraping the bottom of warming trays. Beyond the main buffet, all-inclusive properties like this often include additional dining options that give you a break from the buffet routine. If the hotel offers a la carte restaurants, these are typically reservation-based and may require booking a day or two in advance, especially during peak travel seasons. The menus in these spots tend to focus more narrowly, whether that's grilled seafood, Italian pastas, or Moroccan specialties prepared with more attention to individual presentation. The pace of service slows down, which is either a welcome change or a frustration depending on whether you have evening plans. The quality of ingredients and execution in a la carte settings is usually a notch above the buffet, though the trade-off is less variety and the need to plan ahead. If you're celebrating an anniversary or just want a break from the cafeteria vibe, these restaurants are worth the effort. The bar program at an all-inclusive resort like this is straightforward. You're looking at beer, wine, and cocktails that are included in your package, though premium spirits often come with an upcharge. The poolside bar is where most daytime drinking happens, with bartenders mixing up mojitos, margaritas, and local favorites like Moroccan mint tea spiked with a bit of rum. The quality of cocktails at all-inclusive bars is famously inconsistent. Some bartenders take pride in their work and mix drinks with proper proportions and fresh ingredients. Others are just trying to keep up with the rush and will hand you something that tastes like it was mixed in a bathtub. If you find a bartender who makes a good drink, tip them and return to their station. The pool area is the social and recreational heart of the property, the place where most guests will spend a significant chunk of their time when they're not exploring Marrakech. The main pool is designed for general use, with shallow areas that work for kids and deeper sections for adults who want to actually swim rather than just wade. The water is kept clean and the temperature is usually comfortable, though it can feel a bit chilly early in the morning or late in the season. Lounge chairs are arranged around the perimeter and the usual resort dynamics apply. Early risers claim the best spots with towels and latecomers end up farther from the water or in full sun. If you care about shade, either get to the pool early or accept that you'll be rotating your chair throughout the day to chase the shadows. The poolside bar keeps the drinks flowing, and there's usually a snack station or grill nearby that serves up light bites like sandwiches, fries, and fruit. The pool deck is where the resort's entertainment program often centers, with staff organizing games, music, and activities that range from water aerobics to poolside dance lessons. Your tolerance for this kind of programming will vary. Some people love the energy and the chance to socialize with other guests. Others find it intrusive and would rather read a book in peace. The good news is that the pool area is usually large enough that you can find pockets of quiet if you want them. If the property includes a secondary pool or a quieter adult-focused area, that's where you'll escape the family scene. These pools are typically smaller, with fewer lounge chairs and a more relaxed vibe. The trade-off is less access to food and drink service, so you'll need to walk back to the main pool or bar if you want a refill. The landscaping around the pools often includes palm trees and flowering plants that provide some natural shade and a bit of visual interest. The Palmeraie setting means you're surrounded by date palms, which give the property a lush, oasis-like feel even though you're technically in a semi-arid climate. The pool area is also where you'll notice the resort's maintenance standards most clearly. Well-maintained properties keep the tiles clean, the furniture in good repair, and the landscaping trimmed. If you start seeing cracked tiles, wobbly chairs, or overgrown weeds, that's a sign that the property is cutting corners. The pool is also a good barometer for how crowded the resort is at any given time. If you're visiting during Moroccan school holidays or European peak season, expect the pool to be packed. Off-season visits mean you might have whole sections of the deck to yourself. Activities at Marrakech Ryads Parc all-inclusive are part of the all-inclusive package, which means you're not paying extra for most of the organized entertainment and recreation. The resort typically offers a daily schedule of activities that includes everything from poolside games to evening shows. During the day, you might find staff organizing volleyball tournaments, water polo matches, or group fitness classes like aqua aerobics or yoga. These activities are optional, and participation levels vary wildly depending on the crowd. Some guests jump into every activity on the schedule, while others ignore the whole program and do their own thing. The quality of the activities depends heavily on the animation team, the staff members responsible for keeping guests entertained. A good animation team brings energy, creativity, and genuine enthusiasm to the job. A mediocre team goes through the motions and struggles to get anyone excited. If you're traveling with kids, the animation team can be a lifesaver, giving children a structured way to burn off energy and make friends while parents get a break. Evening entertainment usually includes live music, dance performances, or themed shows that take place in the resort's main theater or outdoor stage area. These shows are family-friendly and range from traditional Moroccan music and dance to more generic resort entertainment like magic acts or cover bands. The production values are modest, so don't expect Broadway-level performances, but they are a decent way to spend an hour after dinner if you're not heading into the city. The resort's location in the Palmeraie also opens up opportunities for activities that take advantage of the surrounding landscape. Camel rides through the palm groves are a classic option, offering a slow-paced way to explore the area and take in the scenery. These rides are usually short, lasting anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour, and they're more about the experience than the destination. Quad biking is another popular activity, with tours that take you through the desert-like terrain on the outskirts of the Palmeraie. These tours are louder, faster, and dustier than camel rides, and they appeal to guests looking for a bit of adrenaline. Some resorts also offer horseback riding, tennis courts, or access to nearby golf courses. If the property includes a fitness center, it's usually a modest setup with cardio machines, free weights, and maybe a few resistance machines. The gym is rarely the highlight of an all-inclusive resort, but it's there if you want to maintain your workout routine or burn off some of the buffet calories. The key with activities at a property like this is to manage your expectations. You're not at a luxury resort with a full roster of curated experiences. You're at a mid-range all-inclusive where the activities are designed to keep guests entertained without requiring a lot of individual customization or high-end equipment. For checking booking availability and prices at your desired dates, you can use the link in description. I hope this video was helpful. Give it thumbs up. Subscribe for more travel-related content. If you are not ready to book this hotel, you can watch our best hotels playlist and choose the best one for you. Thanks for watching.